planets could have evolved
Exactly.
like ours millions of years before our civilization.
When you think about Bob Lazar, you think it's true? Or?
I think it's true, and I think it's true because, and I feel like I've done enough of my own research to think that someone like that is telling the truth, because I think where there's been gaps in the government trying to cover it up, there's been enough crumb to be able to go, actually, it is true. And there is no harm in, I don't know what the harm would be in knowing if there's extraterrestrials anyway. I think what fascinates...
Well, it would be harm, because then, okay, so if...
I know it debunks some like
religious
right? views, but at the same time, like, who's to say that that's... Because there's so many arguments to say that maybe that's... because also, if you think about the evolution of the universe, right? The universe is, what, 13.8 billion years old? They actually now think the universe is potentially twice as old as that.
Yeah, I've seen that now.
And if the Earth is 4.4 billion years old, and then if you look at kind of when it was sort of between the beginning of the universe started and sort of when we started, there's been a fucking hell of a long time between from like how many planets could have evolved like ours millions of years before our civilization that's been able to conjure up the advancement of technology to into space travel and interdimension travel. Who's to say that aliens that we encounter today aren't just our future selves that have been able to manipulate and come back in time and all.
And who's to say that that universe we were living in is just one universe? Maybe there's just different universes.
Yeah, and then there's the multiverse theory of you know, what if there's it's just it's so hard to think about. But what really fascinates me about Bob Lazar's story is that he says there was evidence of spacecrafts that had been found from an archaeological dig, which would mean that there were aliens that were
way before that.
Here way before we were. So then it kind of looks into tying in with.
Have you heard of Anunnaki stuff? That like we obviously that's a very, but apparently they say the reason people love gold is because apparently there was this. Alien species that they had to defend their planet from I think it's from radio how do you call it, radio like the sun,
radiation
so apparently they had to get a lot of gold and like put around their planet so that it can it can protect their planet from deviating, I think. So they found a lot, like they looked for different planets and they came up to Earth and they like, this is like loads of gold here. So but we were chimps, we didn't really know how to do it. So they made us like smarter, and then we started to like mine gold for them. But I don't know how accurate is that, but like.
But dude, like there's even conspiracies about like whether or not we're already in discussions with sort of aliens and potentially trading people for information and stuff like.
Remember I mentioned you that show on Netflix, Free Body something.
Yeah, was that what it was? Is that what?
So that's literally what is like this lady made a contact with aliens. They like, and she like come, but she said it without even. By the way, it's a spoiler alert. But she said it without even. Because she's like, our human race is going down anyway, so you might as well come and help us to survive. And then it shows like that they start to come and everyone's like, what the fuck is happening? Who inviting them? And they're like, oh mate, that show is so good. I would really recommend to watch it.